I guess people be like, where do this stuff come from? Observing the dark night of the soul. How many of us, especially black people, how many of us know about the dark night of the soul, truly know about it? You can't know about it unless you observe it. So how many of us is in prison? And how many of us is buried in the ground? A lot of those people probably was going through the dark night of the soul and didn't want to deal with it. So you was forced to be put in a position where you had to deal with it, whether you were buried or put in prison. That's why I like using supernatural. This is where that came from. You see stuff in the spiritual. When you in the dark night of the soul, you in spiritual court. So you see things differently. You know things. You know about people who doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing. That's like somebody descended real bad. And I heard them say, I don't know how true it is, somebody finna start rotting. And you were vibrating real high, but now you ain't vibrating so high no more. You know, I just know stuff like that. I hear stuff like that. But I can't be clear on who's saying it, who doing it. I mean, who they saying it about. I know it's like in the courts, but I don't know who they saying it about. Sometimes, now if they keep talking about it, I'll find out who. But anyway, like I said, so that's how I know that the family was swapping energy out. And they doing it like for the Get Out Squad. Now, they got a Get Out Squad. Like I said, the first new energy that came towards me probably was my flame. And the rest of the energy followed behind her. Well, the psychosis gene, the psychotic gene and all that, the people that she went towards can pass that gene through sexual encounters. So the same thing that happened to her is gonna happen to the rest of them eventually. And some of them is probably already happening to, but they just hiding it. I ain't saying this because they didn't come to me now. I can care less about that. I'm just saying, when you get re-navigated from the light, they're not gonna re-navigate you to the light. That's what I'm saying. I can care less you come to me or not. That's why I'm the one telling the story. It's my story anyway. You came to my story. So, well, it's God's book, but I walked into my purpose. You gotta walk in your purpose so you can have your own story to talk about. All right, some of y'all, this could be y'all story though. It depends. Never mind. Just never mind it. Too early in the morning. Too early in the morning. But anyway, so that's how I realized it. Cause they swapping energy. Like that dream that God gave me a few months back, where I was waiting on blessing and the blessing was coming, and this old dude binding himself to me. He was living like a child. He really felt like Jesus himself, a straight up sinner. Living like a straight up child. And acted like a child. But these gifts was getting him blessed because they was gifts that belonged to Jesus. And God showed me how it looked. I was over there being tortured my whole life. So you gotta think. I seen young women throw themselves at this dude that don't even know him. Like I saw it with my own eyes, but I know also what energy do, you know. I just been living with my whole life. I know if I'm the opposite, if I'm the one that they converging and emerging with, then I would know, right? So God showed me the dream where I was suffering. It's like God came here. When I had that last near-death experience, which I probably done had many, right? Why wouldn't the God left me dead? Most of the time, God would leave you dead if somebody done pretty much decapitated you like that. Because God came here himself in this vessel and observing it himself. That's why I'm getting all this information. God see who the hypocrites are that act like they're real. God see the fake in everything. That's why I'm getting this information. God even said it. Once it's done and it's over with, I won't get information like this no more problem. It's just because it's like, imagine a spiritual court and God being my lawyer. That's the reason why I'm getting it. So I'm over there suffering, and I'm growing up as a child, and this person went to a bunch of witches and warlocks, and they binded that person to me. And God showed me, like, we was in a mountain place, almost like that Dark Tower place when that kid, in that Dark Tower movie, when that kid met the gunslinger on the mountain. It was almost like that right there. And I was just sitting there waiting on my gift. It's almost like the buzzards that kept eating the liver out of, I forgot the name of that god in that old mythological story. I forgot the name of it. It's just like that. With somebody keep constantly eating you over and over again. That's exactly, that's how it feels. Like, that's how I was looking over there. I was bent down like an old man, and this person was jumping for joy like he was a child. God showed me that, cause I was blaming God. Why you got me here? Why you put me on earth by myself? Why? You know, why would you keep me here? Why you keep alive, bring me back alive? And God came back when God was like, first and foremost, you supposed to have a good life by 18. So you get what I'm saying? These gifts that was supposed to be given to me is luring people to these people. But they're not. When you steal the light from somebody, wouldn't that automatically turn you into a demon? Even if you was an angel? You see what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, if my energy been swapped out, if my energy been switched up, why am I still here? And God was like, we're gonna utilize your vessel down there. And that's when I started getting all this information and stuff. But anyway, I got on here to tell y'all this. I learned something about months, dates, and stuff like that. Well, I'm trying to anyway. Years. 1 month, and one of the months out of a year, it's like the devil month. I never knew that. And this month, I think people know about it though, because I just think people know about it, because I used to deal with a lot of business people, and it was one time of the month nobody would do business for some reason. I never knew why. But this 1 month, they attack you constantly. If you quiet and you still, you can hear it. But if you working and all that, you probably can't notice it. But you'll notice it by having a bad time that whole month, probably. And everybody's month might be different. It's like they go around and attack folks, certain individuals. So that whole month might be like a hell month. Yeah, that whole month might be like a hell month. I keep hearing something about the stove couple. That's one of the main reasons I be glad when all this over so I can eat good again. Cause I see what Jesus was saying. I think Jesus, I don't know if he said in a part, but he said he didn't even eat the food. I can't remember where I read it at. You can't even eat the food. I'm getting to that right there. But anyway, but yeah, that's how it is. So these people, what was I saying? Yes, that's why I said supernatural. That's where they got it from. That's where he got it from. Somebody was in the dark night of the soul. He probably had to do a whole 10 years. I had to research this when I first got it. On the first week I got into this, I researched it. And somebody thoroughly. I could barely find information on it. And I finally reached out to a couple people. And they were like, it could last up to 10 years. And they said it's the worst 10 years of your life if you let it be. But it all depends. I see what they're talking about. But yeah, I had to ask God, I was like, why would you, You had them near-death experiences. Somebody literally took my frequency out and put their frequency in it. Like an alien. They wasn't supposed to be here. They trying to say, I'm the alien. I'm not the alien. They're the alien. I'm not the alien. Alien don't know what to do. I know what to do. You know what I'm saying? How you know a person don't know what to do? Because you do the same thing every day. You sleep with each other. Everything. Look, listen, y'all. One of the formats for black people, let me just be real about it, was to keep them on drugs and prostitute. Just like AIDS was one of them. Just give them AIDS. Well, what happened over time with AIDS? Everybody started getting it. Well, now that's the same thing going on now. Everybody starting to overindulge in prostitution and drugs. See how it's spreading? You can't do to one nationality and not expect it to happen to another nationality. It's like we're not learning our lesson. Spending billions of trees of dollars and trying to come up with these crazy ideas just so to eventually destroy the whole world. You feel comfortable with the opposite. You feel comfortable with that person because that person ain't, you feel like a person like me is strict. But you just done venture too far away from God. And you need to come back. Because you don't feel good when you do low vibrational stuff. And when you wake up in the morning and you go to bed at night, it tells you that. Because it's not of you. It's an external chemical that you added to you. It's not of you. When you need something to make you relax and you need something to make you happy, then you're not happy with yourself.